Last week, I shared my 101 on okra, and we covered all the basics of this very unique vegetable. So this week, I wanted to use it in a recipe. I'm Danny Spies, and for this quick bite, I'm making my chicken, kale, and okra gumbo. Now, if you're not familiar with gumbo, it's a nice, rich, thick, hearty stew that originated in Louisiana back in the 18th century. It consists of stock, meat, some form of thickener, and veggies, including okra. Now, traditionally, it's a slow-cooked meal, but we are gonna make it in clean and delicious fashion today, keep things short and sweet. So I've got a nice big pot heating up over a medium-high heat, and to that I'm adding 2 teaspoons of olive oil, along with half a chopped up onion and 2 cloves of minced garlic. I'm gonna give that a nice big fat pinch of kosher salt to help draw out the liquid there, and let it go for 3 to 5 minutes until it starts to become translucent and it's nice and fragrant. Next up is 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken breast that I've cut into chunks here, and that's gonna go into the pan. We'll let it go 3 to 5 minutes or until it's opaque all around the outside. Once the chicken's looking good, you're ready to add your spices. So a teaspoon each of oregano, thyme, garlic powder, paprika, and then a kiss of cayenne pepper, 1 more pinch of salt, and a little bit of cracked black pepper. Now, the spices are a really important part of this dish, so you definitely don't want to skip it, but if you wanted to shorten the ingredient list a little bit, you could see if your grocery store carries either Creole or Cajun seasoning mix, and then just go ahead and use a tablespoon or 2 of that. Once you've got the chicken and the veggies well coated with those spices, you're ready for the liquids. So you got 1 28-ounce box of low sodium, preferably organic chicken broth into the pot, and a 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes. Again, low sodium if you can find it. And this is also when you want to add the okra in. Now I've just got a 16-ounce bag of frozen okra, and it doesn't matter if it's still frozen or already defrosted, just go ahead and get it in the pot. Then crank up the heat and let the whole thing come to a boil. Now, it's these little seeds in the okra that begin to release a gelatinous quality once it starts to cook. And while this is precisely what a lot of people don't like about okra, in this recipe, it's our secret weapon because it thickens the entire dish without needing any excess butter or flour. So all I'm saying is you should really learn to love your okra. Once your gumbo has come to a boil, we're gonna turn it down to a simmer, and then we're gonna finish it off with a half a cup of frozen corn and 1 head of kale that we've stemmed and then sliced up into ribbons. Once that kale has wilted, this gumbo is ready to roll. So I've got some brown rice in the bottom of my bowl, and I'm just gonna serve the gumbo right over the top. Traditionally, the rice is cooked right in the gumbo, but I prefer to serve it on the side because A, I don't always want it, and B, when it cooks in there, it tends to get really mushy. So I just grab one of my pre-made brown rice packets right out of the freezer, and if you want to learn how to freeze your own brown rice, be sure you check out my video on how to freeze brown rice. This is the perfect kind of meal to make on a Sunday afternoon, and then you can either put it in individual containers or one big bowl, pop it right in the fridge, and it's ready to roll all week long. It's very warm and hearty. Definitely comfort food, but clean and delicious style. For more simple and nutritious recipes, tips, and ideas, be sure you check out cleananddelicious.com. I'm Danny Spies, and I'll see you next time with another quick bite. And B, when it cooks in the pot, it tends to absorb all the liquid and get really mushy. So that's not how I like my rice.